Hello and welcome back to Rebound with Resilience, a podcast dedicated to raise your resilience, mindset, and mental wellness. And on
Wow.
today's episode, we have the superstar reporter of CMI
Not.
News,
Oh, okay. Yeah. That.
Constance
Yep.
Lee.
Hello, and welcome to Rebound with Resilience.
Right? Of
Let me do
course,
the Constance voice.
yeah, it is. It is.
It's
Of
fine.
course, she's played by Tiara. No, I know her as Chun Chu, but I know you guys probably know her as Tiara Yap. You know, if you are on
Mm-hmm.
social media often, you've probably seen her or recognized her voice. She's a content strategist at SGAG where she produces, writes, and acts in videos.
I don't produce. I write and act, and then
Okay,
sometimes direct. Yeah,
direct, right. Okay, it's horrible hosting right there. Thanks for
it's
correcting me,
fine.
Tiara. I appreciate that.
It's
But anyways,
okay.
we have known each other for 7 years, right? Since
Yeah,
18. Wow, that's quite a while.
but this
And
is like our longest conversation.
yes, yes, this is gonna be our longest conversation because we attend the same church, but
Mm-hmm.
Tiara always goes home after service, so we actually no lah.
But you don't even turn up for half the services. You know.
No, I do
So
I do. It's just that I do
really,
go home.
okay.
Yeah, I do. It's just that I go
Okay.
home after that as well.
Yeah.
But do you actually remember how we first met?
I remember it was a youth camp,
Okay,
right? Was it? Yeah, youth camp in 2013. Then it was like right after A levels. I remember youth camp started right after A levels, which is why I
yeah,
even said yes. Um, because our mutual friend Esther decided to bring me to church via the youth camp.
right,
So I was like, sure, because A levels ended, I can basically do anything I want. Why not go for this camp? And
yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah, but Kevin wasn't there for most of it. He was just there for one night,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. So like basically story, like I always remember that day. You know why? Because I was supposed to,
Why?
yeah, so I was supposed to lead the youth camp technically, but after my A
Oh.
levels, yeah, I actually had some issues, right, my mental health. So I was hospitalized for a while, and that day that I went out, right, I actually was
Mm-hmm.
discharged recently.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the day I remember I was wearing a grey shirt, and I came just to visit for one night.
I remember the gray shirt.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
And
I
then,
remember it. I remember it. I don't know how I remember it, but yeah, I remember it.
yes, it's crazy. And my brother was leading a youth camp at that time, if you remember. He was like the camp guy that was giving instructions to
Right,
people
I
running
think
around.
so.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, I remember it because we have, in a way, kind of come a long way, lah, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you guys know Tiara is as a polished, refined performer, but behind that, it's really a lot of hard work and ups and downs. And yes, today we're going to explore your story. It's the first time on the podcast. I hope I do you justice, right?
I hope I do your podcast justice.
No, no, nobody's listening to that. No, lah. I mean,
Okay.
for the people that are
Okay.
listening, I hope we do them justice. So we're just gonna explore a
Mm.
little bit about Tiara's story. Like how she discovered a passion and how she kind of
It's so
pursued
weird
it to where
to
she
hear
is
you
today.
call me Tiara.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, right? I mean, yeah, I have to lah. I feel
Yeah,
like call
it's
Chun
weird.
Chu, man. They
Yeah,
don't know
I
who
know.
Chun Chu is.
Yeah, I know. That's my
Yeah.
Chinese. That's what people in church know me as. So
Yep, yep.
yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Okay.
So yes, you'll be known as Tiara today. And yes, we're gonna explore your student journey and of course eventually your time in SGAG, how you handle the pressure of content creation. Because I would
Mhm.
assume that it's, wow, oh man, so many people watch your videos. It must be some form of pressure. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll explore that later. Okay, so let's just begin with maybe your life as a student. So back then,
Okay.
do you already enjoy like performing, or was it not a priority for you? How were you
Okay.
like?
So how was I like as a student?
Yeah.
I was a very, very nerdy, goody two shoes student.
Mm.
Like that was my identity. I was known as the person who would always get good grades in primary school and secondary school. And then also because I started out that way and then it became all I knew how to do. So to me it was like it's drilled into your head that it's drilled into my head that I need to get good grades
Mm.
for my future.
Right.
So that was really completely everything that I focus on, just getting good
Mm.
grades. And also you have the like social, like when you're growing up, you always have, it comes with your own fair share of like social issues, like
Mm,
socializing, like, having
yeah,
friends, making friends, worrying about what other people think of you, all that also lah. But I was really first and foremost just super focused on my studies.
right.
And then yeah, so the performing thing is interesting. Like
So much you
as
can
far
remember.
back as I can remember, right, I was always um try to imitate things that I see on TV in the
Wow.
mirror. Yeah. So
Really?
if let's say like I watch, okay, so like let's say I watch High Five, right? I'll try to
Right.
sing and dance along. So then I'll imagine that I have my own. I'm on a stage, but the stage
Wow.
is my living room, and imagine that the audience people.
Sure.
But it was just things I did for fun. Like I'll watch and sing along and dance along to High Five for fun. I would I would spend ages right in the toilet, right, because I'm looking at my reflection
Right.
and trying to imitate whatever I just saw on TV just now.
Really?
I try to
How,
like,
how
yeah,
young were
but
you?
all this okay, I don't.
You don't remember?
Wow,
Oh, as long as you
I
can
don't remember.
remember.
I was really really young.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah,
5 years
yeah.
old, 6 years old,
I
like really
yeah,
small.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I would have my own like imaginary uh performances in the living room. Also because I
Mm,
was an only child,
sure.
so it was a way of like how I entertain myself. But I never thought of it as something that would go anywhere.
Become a career, yeah. Okay.
It's just something that I did for fun. Like naturally, that is what I
Right.
like to do.
And you're still doing it now.
Yeah,
That's so
I know. So
empowering.
it really, yeah.
It's pretty amazing,
But
right?
there was a side that I kept like suppressed.
Yeah.
I never told anyone that I would. I mean, maybe my parents know that I would have these
Yeah, yeah.
like
What do
fake
your parents think?
made up shows.
Like,
They
what do
just
your
thought
parents
there was it's a normal thing for kids. Like little girls like to sing and dance and pretend to have their own shows,
sure.
right? And then yeah, I think also my primary school didn't have a drama club when I was there,
Hmm.
so I couldn't really develop this side of me, and I didn't really have an avenue to channel this passion for performing apart from like ballet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but that was a small part of it. And it was I didn't really get to act or yeah.
There wasn't any formal like classes or anything like that, lah. But your
I
parents
had
didn't.
like one or two like those Chinese speech. Okay, I have a bit both English and Chinese speech and drama classes, but they were very. I don't know why, but I didn't really enjoy them that much for
Okay.
some reason. Um, I felt like I was maybe also because I'm an introvert, but then in those
Mm,
classes you're forced to work with strangers and you're
right.
forced to act perform for strangers also. So
Okay.
at that point I was very young and then I felt uncomfortable then.
The primary school was it?
No, before primary
Oh,
school.
it was even
Okay,
before
the
primary school. Okay.
yeah, there was yeah, up till it lasted up until I was like around 8 years old.
Sure. Okay. So I mean, it was just suppressed, lah. It wasn't something that you pursued or your parents didn't think of it seriously. Like, hey, Tiara actually
Yeah.
has it's weird to call it Tiara. Tiara has a talent for this. They didn't really occur
Yeah.
to you. How were your parents like? Were they also quite focused on your grades? Did they put pressure on you to kind of perform in school? Or were they
Mm,
more relaxed? Like they just
they were yes, they were very focused on my grades, especially my father. Uh okay, yeah, yeah. I grew up I had quite a lot of I was what kind of I think it grew to a point that initially I was pressured
sure.
to do and the pressure came from them initially.
Mm,
And then slowly as I knew and associated myself with the identity of getting good grades,
mm,
I put that stress on myself
okay, sure.
to the point where they would know that I am stressing myself and they know, okay, that I don't need to stress her because she is stressing herself.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So like the pressure was internalized lah after a while because of society, because of the environment you were in. Then slowly you just realize that okay, I need to do well. Like Tiara is
Mm,
a straight A student, or at least one of the
yeah.
top performers. So can I say that like in secondary school, like your main source of stress was just getting good grades? Or was there any other main stresses in secondary school?
Um, okay, in secondary school, okay, so I spent
Yeah, right, you went
sec
that.
one and sec two. Yeah, I spent sec one and sec two in a different school from sec three and sec four because
Oh,
sec three and sec four, yeah, because I went for integrated program. So
Okay.
in VJ. So I spent
Sure.
Sec 3, Sec 4, J1, J2 in VJ. And uh okay, so my time in the Sec 1, Sec 2 secondary school, right? That one, okay, the stress did come from getting good grades, but it also came from the social aspect. Because from primary school, when I'm in primary school, I had this very solid group of friends
Sure.
that I always hung out with. And like we spent so many years together. Then when we moved to a new school,
Mm.
I remember it's a group of four of us. And all four of us, we did go to the same school, but we all went to different classes.
Right.
And then going to different classes, um, I realized that I was by myself again in this new environment, and then all of them could make friends very easily in
Okay.
their different classes. And for me, honestly, I think looking back, I think it was like luck. It really depends on the luck, like how the type of people that you're grouped with in a class because it's random, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're very lucky, you might be put in the same class with people that you can click with. If
Mm.
you're not, then it's a bit harder for you to find friends. So for
Okay.
me, uh, yeah, I found it a bit hard to adjust to secondary school life. I remember I was 13 years old, and I remember people in class. For me at that time lah, they were. If you're from my secondary school, like one of the class you're watching this, I'm sorry that was me back in when I
Yeah.
was
I
13.
mean, it's just
For
authentic
me,
experience, right? Back then. I mean, we're not
yeah, like
pointing out anybody. Yeah.
yeah.
Go-
So they were either I found that they were either too quiet or they were too quiet or too noisy. So
Okay.
I couldn't find the in between. Like I would try, no, I really try my best to like try and make friends with like different groups of people. So
Right.
there'll be this. I think like when I started school, there'll be these people who you ask them something, then they reply like you ask them one thing, then they reply one thing. I'm
Mm.
like, oh, okay, I cannot continue this conversation. Then we have another group of people, we are like super out there. And
Right.
then I feel like, oh, this is too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. It's too much
Cause
to be on.
yeah, cause for
They're
me I feel
always
like
the. Yeah, I go to school.
sorry?
I mean, I go to schools to teach quite often, right? Like it's my
Uh-huh.
lifeline. And there's always different bunch of students like you mentioned, right? Different cliques,
Yeah.
ring leaders, and the ring leaders will
Yeah.
always have to show their dominance and show their strength in a way, either through their gestures, through their their verbals, whatever. So they'll sometimes be a
Yeah.
bit loud lah.
Correct. So it took me a while to find like a group of friends that I could click with.
Okay.
And I remember being so insecure about not being able to find my clique of people in Sec 1.
Mm,
That I did this very stupid thing. I made up a schedule in my head. So like I say,
okay.
Monday and Wednesday, I will go for recess with my primary school friends who are from
Okay.
other classes.
Okay.
Then like maybe Tuesday I join this group. Then Wednesday I join Thursday I
Mm,
join another group. That kind of
wow.
thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to because I didn't want to be the extra one that keeps tagging along to this
Okay.
one group. And because they already like solidified their group, then I didn't want to be
Mm,
the extra one that barged in and then try to worm my way in
yeah. Yeah. Click wars ah.
and try to stick with this group forever, right? Yeah. So I was like, then just be flexible lah. So I won't seem extra to any specific group if I just join them for one day a week.
Mm.
that was that was me. Then I found it like super
Was it
tiring.
odd though? Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, was it odd for you or was it tiring for you?
It
But
was odd because as in I
okay,
remember it being quite tiring because I had to try to join in a conversation with different groups of people.
sure.
And then but for me I realized that I behave differently with different groups of people. So with the extroverts, if I'm surrounded by extroverts, I become the introverted one. If
Okay,
I'm surrounded by introverts, then I become the extroverted one.
right,
And it's just I found it because there wasn't this in this process of finding my group of friends. There wasn't any.
right.
Yeah, all of them. I didn't find any. There wasn't one group that was like
Right,
right on my frequency.
sure.
So
Okay.
to spend multiple days with multiple groups that were not even on my frequency, it was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
tiring. But then I realized that I could click with people in my CCA.
Okay.
So
I
I
mean,
started, but also yeah, but the people in my CCA were from different classes. So
okay.
they also had their own groups of friends to hang out with during recess. So
Yeah.
I only hung out with them during CCA times.
Yeah, can I pause you for a while as well, right? Because like, I mean,
Yep.
students you mentioned, right? Even research also
Mm.
suggests that peer-to-peer relationships at that age is one
Mm-hmm.
potential source of stress, like one major source
Mm.
of stress, apart from
Yeah.
studies and pressure from parents and
Yes.
and stuff like that. So like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they also have similar issues. I talk to them, like, I cannot fit in and stuff like that. Where do I find my place in this school, in this
Mm.
class? And it can kind of weigh on their mind sometimes. But for yourself, like, how do you kind of navigate that? Or, you were saying that you hung out with a CCA.
So okay, I did definitely find solace in my CCA, but like I mentioned, I couldn't hang out with them during recess or during like other class stuff because they had their own people in their other classes. So honestly, I don't know how, but like I think after 1 year of struggling, I somehow managed to find my group of friends in class.
It's like just to kind of pause and kind of give students like learning points, because most people listening are
Right.
probably quite young, right? But I think you
Okay.
don't need to necessarily want to fit into everything. Some students
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, like you mentioned, want to fit into different cliques and everything and be
Yeah.
popular everywhere. But like for you, you kind of find that solace. You find that identity in
Mm.
performing, and you explore it, you developed it. So it's okay lah. I mean,
I
I
do.
always encourage students to just
Mm.
you don't need to fit into every single place. You just find somewhere where you can be comfortable and excel in that sense. After that, so like um how did your interest in performing like develop after that? When did it start,
Mm.
and how did you develop it?
I know it coming towards the end of okay, so I remember this very iconic moment in my life where I realized that I was not good in sports. And if I'm not good in sports, it means that I am like my okay, so this was like it had a very weird like dichotomy in my head, which I think was put in place by
Okay.
my mom. Because I remember in primary three, oh how do I remember these things? I don't even know how. But
Nice.
in primary three, there was this we had like sports day, right? Then the teacher would just randomly assign people to the different sports day events based on how she just estimated everyone's like fitness level. Because she was also my form teacher was also my PE teacher. Then I realized that I was not put for any events. I was like, that was very sad. Then I went home, then I think I cried or something. Then I talked to my
Oh,
mother.
wow.
Then my
Okay.
mom was like, "Aya, if you're not good in sports, right, it's okay because you can be good in studies." So
Mm,
it's like if you're not good in sports means you'll be good in studies or something like that.
sure.
Then yeah, it's such a I don't know. I think
Give
that's
you
what
some
she said. Then
encouragement on this. Like what moms do.
correct.
Okay.
Like they say those people good in sports or then later they will like abandon their studies, something like that.
Mm.
So then another time, the teacher nominated some people to be in this uh mini Toastmasters club.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so okay,
Toastmasters is
to
for
this
give some
moment, right?
context. Give some
Sorry?
context to the listeners, right? Toastmasters is like a
Yes.
public speaking kind of club. So we practically go there and they teach you and analyze your speech and your gestures and everything with the sole
Mm-hmm.
purpose of making you a better public speaker and a better person, overcoming your fear as well. Yeah, so that.
Yeah. So there was another CCA, there's a new CCA that just started.
Mm,
And then the teacher decided to nominate some people to join this mini
mm,
Toastmasters club. So I was one of them.
okay.
And then um I remember it was the first time I spoke in public slash performed. I had what okay, I honestly don't know how this information is coming back to me now. Like I didn't even think of
Hey,
it, but
hey,
I
for the
just remember
podcast.
it.
Yeah. Anyone get the
So
quota?
there was my first assignment in this mini Toastmasters club was to write a speech and imagine I'm like some kind of character from a movie or something and then write a speech.
Mm,
So I imagine that I was and then make a mask. So
mm,
you make a mask like the art and craft aspect was to make a mask, then you wear the mask over yourself
sure.
and then you make the speech.
Right.
On hindsight now I realize I think it's the teacher trying to make us less scared if we wear a mask.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Smart.
So I decided to be Stuart Little, like the mouse.
Of all
I don't know.
characters, your
Yeah,
first
I don't know
character
why.
Stuart,
I have no idea. The actress I don't
Stuart
know.
Little.
I don't even know
I don't even
how
know how I remember Stuart
I
Little, but I do.
exactly I don't know how it came to my mind. Maybe I recently watched a movie or something. So
Okay.
I made a speech. I wrote this like monologue. At the time I didn't even know it was a monologue. I just wrote it in the style of what I think Stuart Little will say. And then I
Mm,
performed it. And then I realized that oh people actually responded like positively
wow.
and yeah, so I realized that this was something that I could sort of go into. Uh
Mm,
but then we didn't really have a drama club then, so I didn't
yeah.
really I abandoned it. I abandoned this skill for a while because uh I don't even know. Yeah, why did I
When
stop being
when
in mini
when
Toastmasters? I
when
think I
was
was a
that again?
prefect or something. This was in primary 4, primary 5.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
going a little bit back. Okay, but after you abandoned it in secondary school, you didn't really.
Then okay, so in secondary school, uh, it was so secondary school we could like sort of okay. So I went to CEDA girls.
Yeah.
Shout out to all my CEDA girls. I went to CEDA girls. Then in CEDA, I don't know if they still make you do this now, but
You
we have
run.
to audition for. Yeah, I still cannot run, and I mean I
You have
can
to
run, but I hate. I
run, right?
still
You have to run like
yeah,
2.4 or
we have
something.
to run. Yeah, I
Every
still hate
There's a
running.
weekly run. Sorry to
Oh
interrupt
yeah,
you.
we
Yeah, you were
run
saying.
twice a week on top of PE. I never understood that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
okay, I maybe they would just want to make us more healthy. I do think my stamina has improved thanks to my time at CEDA, so thank you. um, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
sorry. Yeah,
Okay, so they made us audition for
yeah.
CCAs. So I remember that you could choose what CCA to audition for. So if you get through the audition, then you get into the CCA. So I chose audition for English drama, Chinese drama, and dance. I
Mm,
don't know what happened. I got put into Chinese drama. But I
mm,
don't even I don't even speak a lot of Chinese in daily life, but I got put into Chinese drama.
yeah.
Um but this was a group of people that I said I clicked with.
Is it?
Even though I was the only one, yeah. The
Was it
even though
Chinese
I was the
good?
only one who's sorry?
I know it's a horrible stereotype, but I just ask you whether the Chinese is good. Like those
Yeah, they were good in
join club,
Chinese
they were good,
also.
right? Yeah, okay. There's a
Yeah,
stereotype.
they were good. Then but I was the only one who spoke English.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was thinking.
I tended
Okay,
to speak English more often, even
right.
though, but then they spoke more Chinese, but
Yeah, yeah.
I still found that I could click with them.
Mm,
So, yeah. And then it was through this even though it was Chinese drama, but no, it was actually CLDDS. So it's Chinese
mm,
Literary Drama and Debating Society. So drama was just a small part. We did a lot of things like rice painting, a lot
mm,
of Chinese cultural activities and like calligraphy. So drama is just a small part of it. But even through the small like sessions that we had with drama, I further developed it, and then I
mm,
realized that I had a talent for. So
right.
previously, I thought it was just in my head that I think I might be a good actor, but this was me in my toilet at home. But then
Sure.
now that I got to do it in front of peers, then I
Right.
realized that okay, there is something there.
Okay.
So
And there was
yeah,
feedback as well, right? There were people that complimented you,
yeah,
either your instructor or whatever. So there was like external feedback, validation to tell you that, hey,
yeah.
that could be a strength or a talent I can explore.
Yeah, and then okay, so the thing is I keep abandoning it and then coming back to it again. So when I was in CLDDS from like Sec 1, Sec 2.
Yeah.
Then when I went to VJ in Sec 3, I joined dance because I remember they were looking for dancers and then they were like they wanted to form their own SYF team, really hoping for people with ballet background to join them. So I joined
Yeah.
dance in Sec 3. And then Sec 4 I saw this, so this was my first brush with English drama. And then they were putting out this casting call. They were casting for Rapunzel, but it was a
Mm,
parody of Rapunzel. And
okay.
then I remember like this is something that I really, really want to audition for, but I don't even know whether okay, no, I didn't even know whether I wanted to go for it in the first place.
Okay.
I was just so I didn't
Fear.
know whether to go for it or not.
Okay.
I'm so
Was
sorry,
that
this podcast
what
might take a while.
was it
I'm
fear?
going into so much detail.
No, it's okay. So that's
Sorry?
what a podcast is for,
Okay,
right? I
okay.
mean, they don't want to
Okay,
listen to
okay.
it. Too bad for them. Just kidding.
Okay.
They can
But
they
anyway,
can
you
do
can
a
edit
one
it out if it's
they
too
can do a
long.
one
Yeah,
point
yeah,
two
yeah.
five speed and 1.5 speed. I mean, that's how the podcast usually
Okay, okay.
goes. Yeah. So
I do find that yeah, like so what worked for me was if you kind of listen to your heart and you follow what your heart tells you you're passionate about, you will click with, as in you will do that. So, but at the same time, that will lead you to other people who are also passionate about
right,
the same thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
You
Okay, so
vibe
I
with
want to share this story of my audition, which
love
was
it.
like the
Okay.
first. Okay, so this was the first time like in English drama it was an actual play. So up to this time, I had not been in a single play before. I
Mm.
had not had any chance to be part of a like proper
Yeah, for
production.
production. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so this one right, I remember I flipped a coin, like cause I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do it or not. Um, like okay, now looking back, I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't at that point. I couldn't tell whether I wanted to do it or not.
Okay.
So I flipped the coin, and then I was like, okay, heads, I audition. Tails, I don't audition. Then I landed on tails, and then my heart sank. And then the moment my heart sank,
You knew.
I knew that that I actually want to do
Oh,
this.
that is amazing. We're gonna cut this out and put it in a snippet. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So that was when I knew that okay, I want to do this. Because I think growing up, I prioritized so much of everything was head knowledge. Like I did things according to what I thought was good. It was, you always have that very cliche thing where you're torn between your head and your
Yeah,
heart,
your
right?
heart, yeah.
Yeah, so that whole time it was just hate all the time.
Sure, sure.
So
Just
this is the first
rationalizing it,
time,
right? Like my studies are most
yeah,
important. I cannot take time to perform, whatever.
yes.
Mm.
And like, oh, performing will not get you anywhere. So that was the first time I realized, oh, I actually want to do this. And then I went for the audition, and then I got a small role, but I was really happy because I got it. And I think from there, I slowly built my confidence, both in dance and in drama. I eventually stopped dancing to focus on drama, and then I had the confidence to like audition for more roles, and
Sure.
and was given more like significant roles.
Cool.
So that was how it developed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story. Like that's kind of like a defining or transition moment where you kind of realize that, hey, I following my heart is something that could be useful because all along I've just been using my brain and rationalizing my passion away.
Mhm.
And like the whole thing about flipping a coin, right? And then when it's in
Mhm.
the air, you know actually what you want to do. But for
Okay, for me
yours
it
in your
wasn't the
house,
air.
it's
For
yeah
me,
lah.
yeah,
After
it
the
was
thing
when it
drops
landed.
lah.
Yeah.
It's like what's the point of flipping
Yeah.
the coin, man? I'm just gonna do it anyway. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, so after that, how did it develop? And I'm sure that's not the ending, right? There's a lot of struggles after
Mm.
that as well. It's not like you've found your passion and okay, everything is smooth. So like after that, right, in A levels, I know also that was a stressful period for you. So while you were
Mhm.
performing, while you were kind of exploring your passion, deepening your passion, right?
Mm.
How was your kind of mindset
Mm.
towards your grades and towards your studies?
Oh, I was still super duper focused on my grade because it's A
Mm,
levels.
yeah.
The fact that I didn't take O levels and A
Mm,
levels was my first major exam after like PSLE.
mm,
I was so stressed throughout JC. And for me, I really saw again, I still didn't see drama as a career path. I always saw it as something that relaxed me, something that I had fun with.
okay.
And so I remember even before we started choosing our subject combinations for J1, right?
Mm,
There was this because VG they allow you to take a contrasting subject, take TSD, theatre studies, as a contrasting subject. But I remember I was deciding between I was deciding between geography and econs as my contrasting subject because I went to the science stream. Uh, I took BCM and then I was like deciding here G or E,
right.
and I didn't even consider taking TSD because to me it's just like I was
Yeah.
like, huh,
No.
but I'm a
Yeah. No
science
point,
student. How can
right? Yeah.
I
Okay.
even do drama? And I remember I had this slight like there was uh we had some talks before we were to choose our subject combination. So one of the talks was the TSD talk, like to go there and learn what will you learn in theatre studies. And
Mm,
I remember I had like me a small part of me was like, should I go for it? Like nobody's going with me. I'll be the only one from the class. I don't even go. Like, I just excluded it like that, you know.
you just threw it out the door. You abandoned your
Yeah,
passion
yeah.
for a
No, to me
moment.
it wasn't even something that I could start. Like to me, it wasn't even something that I should be studying because my
Yeah.
brain was so still focused on science, 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 science.
Right. Right.
Like
Okay.
science is a prestigious thing.
Mm, okay. So that was you lah. That was you in
So
JC, just doing science, differentiating math equations, balancing chemical
yeah,
equations.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And how was the experience for you? It was not the best for me.
It was not the best for me also. I know we were both like traumatized by the same A levels and the
Yeah,
same A
yeah, yeah.
levels sent our paths. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. We're the same age, by the way. We took the same A
yeah.
levels. Yeah, yeah. So that was quite fascinating. But I mean, how do you cope? So I mean, so far we haven't really talked about more of like coping and more about dealing with stress, right? But like during that
Hmm.
period, what was your coping mechanisms or how did you kind of deal with that?
I really coped by I think my time in the drama club really helped to really
Mm,
relieve some of the stress. And by we talking about like stress, I don't think I did a very good job of dealing with it. I was still
okay.
stressed to the end, and if there was anything to help me deal with it, it was my
Mm,
CCA.
okay.
I know there are some moments when I was studying that I would get like panic attacks. Okay, but I don't think it was a
Full
I
blown
don't
one lie. It was just a
yeah I
mini
don't think it was
one.
a
Okay.
panic attack. Like I didn't have difficulty breathing or what, but I was just suddenly like like I would get so in my head of about planning a study schedule,
Yeah.
and then to the point where I would be like, okay, no, but I have to make use of every single moment of my time, even if and it got down to even planning like okay, I cannot um like okay on this train ride. I need to take this, study this
Oh
chapter or
yes,
whatever. Because
yes, I relate to that.
right,
It's crazy. I
yeah,
relate to that. Every single moment must be revising.
yes. If not, it's like time wasted.
Yes.
On the train, okay, I can cover these two topics.
Yeah.
Then, and then I really started getting like I'm not sure, but I think looking back at it, I think this was a depressive moment because I really got so bogged down in the details of I planned this schedule, and then the thing about me is that I
Yeah.
didn't write out the schedule. I just planned it in my head.
Yeah.
Then after that, we're like, no wait, but why did I put this subject here again? Then I got so frustrated with me trying to remember the reason for me putting that subject at that time slot. Then I'm
Right,
just
right.
wasting time. I could just spend that time studying.
Yeah, yeah. Then you get more
But it's
anxious,
just
right? Okay.
correct. It's a lot of these like
Lit-
because I think there was so many things to study,
Okay.
and I wasn't studying things that I like studying.
Right.
Okay, but you know one of the how I relieve one of the simplest ways I got to relieve that was I would bring my dog out and
Okay.
then I would like skip I would skip down my corridor and then
Sure.
my dog would just like run along beside me and
Okay.
I would release my stress like through all this like by
So,
skipping
right.
not the skipping rope
Yeah, I
it's
know.
by
You mean
skipping down.
yeah, I know.
That was yeah that was how I relieved like like I that was an instant way of like getting rid of some of the stress.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just a point, right,
I
for students who are stressed as well, like having these disruptors or times where you kind of take a break, whether it's in music,
mhm
exercise, like performing in your case, or just taking a walk with your dog. Like, don't
mhm
underestimate these things because they're actually really important. Like, even now for me, like running a business, right, there's sometimes where I get too caught up in my head, like you said, overthinking. Like, it would just help you just
mhm
go for a run. Because when you do these things also like there's endorphins being released and you feel a
yeah.
bit happier. So if you're listening to this and you're stressed, please do take breaks once in a while. Okay, it'll be good for you.
Try skipping like really like I don't know why
It's a
it worked
new
for me.
technique, skipping. Yeah,
Skipping made me feel happy and by skip right I don't mean like a lame like just skip. I mean like you really put all your energy into jumping as high as you
sure.
can with every skip. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it worked for me. I'm not sure if it worked for you, but you can try.
Worth a
Yeah.
shot, worth a shot. Yeah. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay, so I think those things kind of helped you, and then so you eventually kind of pulled through your A levels lah. I mean, you did decently in your A levels,
No,
but
I did
beyond.
terrible.
Okay, that's it's relative. It's all relative, right? We're gonna go there. In my
Okay.
thing, I think we did decently, but
Okay.
in
Oh.
general, in the whole of Singapore, it's always relative. But what I was
Okay.
gonna go next is that like after the A levels, when you perhaps felt they didn't meet expectations, that was another period where you had to deal with your emotions, right? During that period,
Mhm.
was it? And how did
Um.
you?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, a big part of how I dealt with the stress, especially I'm gonna go backtrack a bit, right,
Okay.
especially
Sure.
up to A levels,
Yeah.
was because you asked if I could talk about if I wanted to talk about
Faith,
faith,
is it?
right? So I
Oh
think
yes,
this
yes,
was the
yes.
period. Yeah, this was the period that things happened along the way. My mom got introduced to Christianity, and then she was going for this what do you call it, this cell group at lunch, and then
Mm,
she had some of her friends come over, pray for the house, pray for me while I was studying,
sure.
introduced me to praying, like gave me some Bible verses to look on, and then I think that was also how I dealt with some of the stress.
Right.
And yeah, so um I would say that I had this huge like sort of paradigm shift that occurred between completing my A levels and getting my A level results. And I think it was very lucky that it occurred at that point because I was introduced to God, and then
Right.
um yeah, I think I got baptized before then also.
Sure.
Yeah, I started going to church then. I got baptized before I got baptized in
Oh, that
February, received A level results in March. Yeah,
that right. That was after you went for youth camp, is it?
correct.
Like during that
Yeah.
period, lah. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Understand.
so I went for youth camp, then I started going to church more often,
Mm.
then started Bible study more, and then
Yeah, for sure. I think we
yeah.
can explore that a bit, like even though you
Mm,
might be of a different faith, right? Growing up, I've always
mm-hmm,
enjoyed listening to people of different faiths and understanding like how that has helped them, how that has given
mm,
them solace as well, because it is a paradigm shift and we need something to ground us in. So I think there's no harm in sharing your personal faith and as long as you're not putting down other people, So we can definitely
Okay.
explore that, like, like for you, what was that paradigm shift like, if you could describe it? Like, what was it like? Is it that my worth is no longer dependent on all these factors?
Yeah, it was more of my future is not determined by the grades that I have, or rather, my future is in God's hands.
Mm,
And I remember like the day before I collected my A level results, I posted this Facebook status saying that um something along the lines of whatever results I get tomorrow, I know that this is the first step in living out what God has for me.
mm.
So okay, but that being said, right, when I collected my A level results, I still
Yeah, man. Oh,
oh
I guess God, you guess not. Maybe.
so like I mean, okay, even though that being said, I had that mentality, but when you receive your A level results and it's not what you expect, obviously you would. Like, my first reaction was to burst into tears, and then I remember through bursting into tears, right, my math teacher came over and then she like kind of hugged me a bit, and then through my tears while I was crying, I was like, "It's okay, I know that this is what God has for me."
Okay, I shouldn't be laughing, but
You
okay.
know, but that was yeah, that was me like I was like
Mm,
in so much pain, but then I kind of still held on to that faith that
sure. Yeah,
I mean I was also trying to convince myself that
yeah.
okay God, I know I did very badly, but
But
I know this
things
is
will
what
work
you
out.
want to do for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, things have worked out. Look at where you
yeah,
are now.
exactly.
Amazing.
Like if I did well in A levels, I'll probably go into science, or like I'll be like, oh, I need to spend my time in a science lab, and oh my gosh, I would not be happy
Mm,
in
yeah.
in a lab. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just a small point, right? I think life is meant to be lived forward, but understood
Mhm.
backwards. Sometimes we don't understand things until like in hindsight, but the fact that it's really happened, and we can only move
Mhm.
forward and kind of chart the path from there. So I think I'm just glad that to hear your story, through the struggle and suck it doing. I mean, it must be tough because like we invest so much emotional energy and effort into your A levels, and you're being conditioned that that's your life, right? Your future depends on it.
Mhm.
And in that moment when you receive it, it's like, man, all my effort is wasted. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my life. So it must have been tough, lah. But like I said, with pain there always comes power, lah. With pain there always comes clarity. So
And
yeah, because
also,
yeah,
mm,
go ahead.
okay. I think what also helped was before receiving the results, I already knew that in my heart, I wasn't going to go for a career in life sciences.
Mm,
So I think that helped. That just kind of like confirm my thoughts. So it's again going back to the what my heart tells me. Because I remember growing up, I don't know if you can relate to this as well. Because I know, yeah, you yourself also found your identity in getting good grades, right? And then
yeah,
like
yeah,
doing
for
well in
sure.
school, yeah. And then I know growing up, my relatives always ask me what do you want to do in future. And then because my best subject was always bio, then I
Mm,
was just
mm,
okay. I probably do something since bio is my best subject. I guess I will have to do a career in bio. So I
mm,
always say, oh,
mm.
life sciences, life
Okay.
sciences. Then I just said it so often that it just got in my head. Like, okay, lah, I will do life sciences. And then um after A levels ended, my school had this. I was very privileged to be in a school where they tied us with internships to do after A levels. So I remember looking at the list of internships and looking at all the bio stuff, and I was like, why does this not excite me? Then I looked down at the media and theatre stuff. Then like I felt a surge of excitement. I was like,
Well,
huh?
that's good. That's another indication of like your heart telling you or your spirit kind of telling you
Correct.
that, yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember I told I was on my way to econs tuition.
Yeah.
That was a thing. And then my mother told me, I know I had this conversation with my mom when she told me like I rather, even if you're good in bio, right, or I rather you do something that makes you happy.
Mm,
And I told her that I don't think I'll be happy doing bio, and then I think I'll be more happy pursuing media. Like, okay, again, the drama thing still didn't go into my mind yet. I was like, okay, media.
okay.
Yeah, I'll be happy. Like, I think communications, like maybe journalism, the media is
Yeah.
something where I'm headed more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you applied and then you got in.
So
Was
that
there
was how I applied to Wikimbi.
Wikimi and you got in, right? So
And
we
yeah, because Wikimbi came to my school to give a talk, and that's
nice.
how I knew of the existence of the school.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just even for listeners, right? Wikimi is actually a communication school in NTU. So like I
Mm-hmm.
went there as well. Like I'm actually Tiara's junior. So
Yeah.
that's a nice school. I mean, it was a lot of a lot of opportunities for us to explore our passions. And of course, my company now is from my final year project as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for you as well, I'm sure you and a lot of we did some theater performances, right? We have to kind of speed up the podcast a little bit,
Okay,
but
okay, okay,
okay,
okay.
but no worries. I would definitely still want to you to share about your life in uni. So you transition into
Mm.
uni, right? And I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So share with us like how was your uni experience like? What was your focus and how did you finally decide okay performing is for me?
Um, okay, so okay, honestly, I found that uni was probably like the best studying time because
Yeah,
you
for
compare
sure.
like right, you agree, right?
Agree.
Like
Fully agree.
studying for H2, yeah, for H2 no JC, wow, it's like A levels was the most studying I ever did.
Yeah,
Compared
yeah.
to A levels, uni was like a breeze.
It is. It is. It's crazy.
It's really,
But
and
don't
then the
take our
best thing
word
is
for
that
it, lah. We are in
oh
comms,
yeah,
lah.
don't take our word for it.
Comms is a bit
Yeah,
different. You
we
cannot.
came from science and then we went to communication,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's very very different. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we didn't and also the good thing was that we didn't have the grades were not fully dependent on one exam,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what I really didn't like
Lot of
about education
projects
system,
and stuff.
that everything was dependent on one exam, as in the A level thing lah.
Mm.
Then but I really like that in uni everything was split up into like projects, into assignments, that kind of thing,
Mm.
and you had the freedom of choosing. um you had a lot more freedom of choosing what you wanted to
Yeah.
study as long as you fulfill a certain quota.
Mm.
So yeah, so by then I think I really just I followed my heart all throughout uni. I just picked the things that I like, the modules I like doing,
Mm.
and I realized that I was more inclined to the more performative side,
Mm.
like media presentation, um, acting and directing. Even though
Sure.
I didn't do acting and directing, but I really really wanted to get into that module. But something happened. I couldn't get in because there were too many people or something.
Okay.
When I went on exchange, I found myself choosing all the theatre modules as my electives. Um, because NTU allowed us to take drama minors, I found myself taking a drama minor. So again, it was totally just following my heart. And
Mm.
I realized that, oh shit, I actually want to do performing instead.
Nice. Okay.
And yes, and I also realized this because in the middle of uni, I was auditioning. I I decided to since I had relatively more free time on my hands to audition for outside stuff like acting projects to develop myself in this area that I was passionate in. And then I remember doing a show with some LaSalle musical theatre kids, and I realized that oh shit, musical theatre is a thing,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
cause, and I really really enjoy it. I was
Sure.
like, oh no, why didn't I know about this course before? Blah blah blah.
Mm.
And then I asked my mom, do you think I can transfer to LaSalle? And then, but this was already like 2 years into Wikimri. And then she's like, you're already halfway through your uni, you just finished it. So okay, like, so I finished it
Okay.
while still trying my best to do drama at the same time.
Sure.
Yeah,
You were
that's
involved in
basically it.
some theater productions as well, right? For school and
Yeah,
everything.
in
Yeah.
school, outside of school, I auditioned more
Yeah. So I
for
think quick
freelance
point
projects.
for listeners, right? Like for like you just need to explore lah. I mean, even for me as well, like to find what I want to do now and kind of focus and double
Mm-hmm.
down on it. I went through a lot of exploration as well. Just doing random stuff, hosting kids' birthday parties, being a clown,
Yes.
doing training in schools. So exploration is really important. Like you need to put yourself out there. Don't judge yourself too much. Don't have too much fear of failure or fear of being rejected. Just get out there and do stuff. And I know that you also face. I want to ask you this, right? Because I know you auditioned for a couple of roles. For a period of time, you were auditioning at different places, and trying to
Mm-hmm.
find work gigs to do. Right? How was that experience like?
Yeah.
Was there any fear of rejection, fear of failure, whatever? Or you just like, you know what? I'm just gonna put myself out there and let it happen. Let it happen.
Of course, as a freelance actor, I was a freelance actor at this point in time, and then
Mm,
rejection just comes with the job. Um, you just get turned down so many times. You audition, and on a lot of times it's nothing to do with you. It's more on the look that the client is going for, the production house is going for. Like it could be because let's say we're supposed to be a family. I don't look enough like that guy. Then I don't get casted just because I don't look enough like that guy. Then
yeah.
that's beyond my control, right? That kind of thing. Um, I do think that there is a need to do things that scare you, that make you feel uncomfortable, because that's how you grow. Um, okay, taking on jobs that you're like, oh no, I don't know whether I can do this. But
Yeah.
then, and you know it's going to be difficult for you to do it, but then you just do it anyway.
Right.
So that was for me, it was one, because I needed the money, and also because I just wanted to grow. Because
Yeah.
I didn't want to just back out of things because they seem uncomfortable to me.
Sure. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a huge point. Like do whatever scares you, right? If you stay in your comfort zone, you will never grow your skills, nor your
Mm-hmm.
influence, nor your ability. And then a lot of people they just stay there because of the fear of rejection, the fear of failure. But I mean, if you have any tip for people like this, right? Like they in their heart they want to do something just like you, but they have a fear of rejection. Like how do you any advice to overcome it?
I don't know if I think fear can come from a lot of different places. So apart from it just being rejection, it could also be the fear of it being uncomfortable, or fear that you won't be good enough,
Yeah.
or fear that you'll be judged, right? And I
Mm.
think the thing is, you have to accept that you are not gonna be amazing at everything that you try for the first time,
Mm.
and there will definitely be discomfort and rough patches for you to go through. And I guess accepting that it's gonna be uncomfortable,
Sure. Okay.
but
So
if you
that,
don't do it, or if you don't even try, then you never know how far you can
right.
go.
It's like
Yeah.
preparing yourself mentally to know that you're not in denial about the work or the uncomfort, right? You know
Mm-hmm.
that the uncomfort is coming, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you also have this inner voice that says, maybe I can get it done. I have the ability to grow out of my comfort zone and kind of face it and then become better. Yeah, so
Exactly. And you won't know until you try. If you try and you realize that shit, this is really, really not for me, then next time you don't do it. But if
yeah,
you don't know, you never know. I mean, if you don't do it, you never know. Yeah.
right. Great. I mean, that's great advice for people. Okay, so taking the advice, of course, you different places, and eventually, we come to the final part of the podcast, which is your time in SGAG. I know
Yeah.
that maybe this some of us to talk about that because people know you from. I mean, a lot of people listening to this podcast would probably know you from SGAG. And so, how did you start in SGAG? What was that? How do you apply? How do you get in?
Um. How did? Okay. So when I was freelance acting, there was this point in time where I realized that I can go for every single casting call and try my best to support my income, but I realized that I really wasn't making enough to survive.
Mm,
And then I saw that uh, actually one of my friends that I worked with on another theatre production told me that SGAG was hiring. I I decided, like, 'cause since it's a full-time thing
mm,
and they're looking for people who can write and who can act and who can direct, um, why not give it a go? Because it allows me to not just be a mouthpiece for other people. I think I've said this before. As a freelance actor, when you're auditioning for other people, you never get to. It's never your work. It's never
right,
your
right,
words.
right. You're just
Yeah,
performing,
you
right?
correct. You never get a say in what is the message that's being delivered. But I really really like how in SGAG because you don't get to just be an actor. You have to have something else. No one is a single role in SGAG. We're all doubling up to do all that and then earn a regular income. It's a full-time job. I'm like, I found I don't know, like why not just apply lor, like
Yeah,
see how
yeah.
it goes. Yeah, because it solved all my problems. Like it
Okay,
allowed me to continue doing what I love, and it still gave me regular income.
cool.
Yeah,
So it's a
and
good
it could
fit,
shut
lah.
like all my relatives up. When they ask me what you doing there, like freelancing,
It's
freelance
good.
acting, then they like
Wouldn't that
can make money, man.
yeah, wouldn't that cause them to make more noise? Huh? That meme company?
No, but then you
But you
tell
see,
them that
people don't know,
it's
right? So
a
it's quite funny
legit.
at the
Yeah,
time.
no, but I tell them it's a legit company.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah,
full-time
exactly.
job. Yeah, so
So
it's like I felt that is to really you can shut them up already, lor.
okay. So nice.
But
So you
yeah.
applied it and then you got it. And just to
Mm-hmm.
clarify, right, even for some listeners, SGAG is not just a meme making company. They don't just make
Yeah.
videos for fun. Even though they have a lot of fun doing it, but they don't make it for just for fun. They're companies that first content marketing, so companies that pay them to create content and kind of promote their products subtly as well, and that's how they get compensated. And they've grown now. The company has grown. I think how many people are there now? Full time? 70, 80?
50 to 60, I think.
50, 60, yeah. I mean, around there.
50
Like
the
the
last time I
SME,
asked. Yeah.
SME, I mean, they do a couple million of revenue a year probably. So it's a big company, by the way, guys. It's not just me making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's talk about this, right? So you went into SGAG, right? And then you were
Mm-hmm.
you are a content strategist, which means that you direct, you write, you perform, you act
Mm-hmm.
as well in a lot of the videos. Were there any initial concerns before you started, like jitters, like before you, the first day of the job? Was there any concerns?
Definitely, like, I was very concerned that I wasn't suitable for a certain role
Mm-hmm.
because I never played it before.
Okay.
Or like if I write something, what if this is not funny?
Mm,
Um, I think the stress, more of the stress came from when you are a face on the video, and then when you're a new face, and um, I used to get, yeah, I would get these like negative comments, and I used to be very, very, very concerned about comments because
sure.
that was the first time that I could receive direct feedback.
Okay.
But then for this one is like you put a video out there, you can immediately see
Yeah.
the
People
responses that it's
commenting.
getting
Yeah.
from the comments.
Sure.
And I remember like I think I was quite self-conscious of how I looked. And then I was like, ah shit. I know I was getting comments on my looks, and I was like, but I can't help it, right? If I'm born like this,
Mm,
And then I was like, why can't people see me for my skills and not my looks?
okay.
Like I'm pretty like for me, I'm my acting skills is something that I'm quite proud of. Because I'm still working on, but it's something that I do
Sure.
pride myself on. And so yeah, that was I think being very worried about what people thought of me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I mean, it's tough, lah. It's just people like in the comments
yeah.
and then the things that they kind of look at. So like, how did you overcome that, like, eventually?
Uh, I think it comes with practice. Like after a while, you kind of get numb to it, and then after a while, I feel like you have to let the work speak for itself. Sort of.
Okay.
If people like after a while, after I did more roles, I think people saw the value in my acting and
Sure.
less in my appearance. So I was uh getting like good feedback
Okay.
that was that showed that the work I did was in the right direction lah. And um also the negative feedback thing and being very concerned about going through the comments and stuff. After a while, you get used to it. For me, after a while I got used to it. After a while, I didn't really care about looking at the comments anymore.
Also, like one point you brought up about focusing on your work, right? Letting your work speak for
Yes,
itself. That's a
yeah.
huge point. Like I really respect you for that. Despite the criticism, whatever, despite the nasty
Mm-hmm.
comments, right? You still stuck by your work. You keep going, and then now, yeah, I mean, all the videos you produce are so creative and so entertaining, and the different personas you put up. It's not easy,
Thank
honestly.
you.
Like I mean, see some of the personas you put up, right? It's obviously not you. You have to do things that is like really, really out of your comfort zone in that sense, Yeah. In fact, based on that, I want to transition to the next question, right? Like, do you have fear, like, I can't pull this role off, especially the more difficult ones? Like recently, the one you did with Mark, right? You feel a different.
Uh-huh.
It's just certain things that you usually don't say, and even
Oh,
things like flirting with Brightman. That
hi.
was a funny
Ah,
video,
yes.
right? But how do you? Yeah, I want to know your thought process. Like, do you go into these videos like with fear, or you just
How do I?
pick it, you're just gonna do it?
I think for me as an actor, it's easier to do things over the top. So okay, as an actor, because all these things are comedic roles, right? And you know you're doing it for comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for me it's really easy to be gross in a comedic way.
Okay,
But then like okay, but if let's say it was a straight play, so it's a play that is not on SGAG, it's
okay,
in real life, and then I have to flirt with someone like genuinely, and
right.
I have to be vulnerable with someone. That is where the challenge comes in.
Okay,
Yeah, so I realize that um I don't know if this is good or bad, but I think the roles on SGAG don't really require you to be that vulnerable because
sure.
it's
It's a
all kind of
sketch,
lighthearted.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I would say more of my acting challenges come from the stage stuff,
Theater
or like
side. Mm.
the more serious, like if the tone is very serious and more like
Yeah.
yeah, dark kind of, yeah, heavy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's still difficult, right? So props to you for pulling a lot of them off with such
Thank
plan,
you.
and of course people do give good feedback about that as well. Um, and one thing I want to touch on is also the culture of SGAG, right? Like what I found,
Hmm.
I mean, seeing through your stories and also your cast members, right? Yeah, stories. So despite the kind of success that you all have, right? You all seem to be so down to earth and like just helping each other out, just enjoying life. That is so like inspiring, Like you go to work and you just can have fun and just make videos. I mean, I know it's not all easy,
Yeah.
lah, but you want to share about that? Like, is there something you're grateful for?
Yes, I'm like super, super, super thankful for my colleagues.
Mm,
Like, I don't think I've ever been in a workplace where I can come in and then I just click with them on on such a similar wavelength. So that
mm,
was actually something I was worried about before joining XGAG. I was like, oh no, what if I find it very hard to click with them because
mm.
we are like vibing on different frequencies? But no, I came in, I was like, oh man, these are all like my people. And then
Love
I
it.
remember,
Okay.
um, yeah, I remember the first time and it's like not just the cast members, people who are not my cast members, like my managers. The first few weeks in SGAG, I remember tweeting. I told you right, Twitter was my safe space.
Yeah,
Like because now my Facebook, everybody added me on Facebook because in SGAG people add you on Facebook and people follow
sure.
you on Instagram like the second you join the company. So I
Yeah,
was like, okay, on Twitter I was like, how is everyone in my company so nice?
right.
How are all these nice people all in one place? Because I think I had some previous like work experience where I had to deal with
Yeah,
people
yeah, the
like
egos and
really,
whatever. Yeah,
yeah, and so I really really appreciated the
yeah,
fact that I could click with all
yeah.
these people, and you're right, they are
Yeah,
very
hilarious
down
lah.
to
I mean, all
earth.
of them hilarious. I mean, my favorite is Shah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
pronounce it Shah, right?
yeah. It's pronounced
Okay,
Sha.
okay, yeah, but yeah, she's so hilarious. Her
See,
TikTok
this one Sha
videos.
got a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, she has
yes,
so many
Sha is
fans.
a TikTok queen.
I mean, of course, after you lah. I mean, I cannot. You're still my favorite.
No, no, man, it's okay,
After
man. It's
after
okay,
you
it's okay.
is her because she's far. Her TikTok is so funny. And then recently she did what was it the Hari Raya video, right? What's TikTok is
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Hari Raya songs and
yeah,
the yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I'm just laughing thinking about it. But yeah, I mean
You're
pretty
a
much
fanboy, Sha. Yeah. Okay.
yes. Yeah, I mean I'm so glad that the people there are so humble and they just vibe with you. That's why I think you'll create great content because there's a synergy as well. Okay, cool. Well, I think we're gonna wind down a little bit.
Okay.
Let me see. What else do I need to ask you? Okay, so I think you really talked about dealing with pressure, right? About just focusing on your craft, and then of course your group mate, as in your colleagues, also help you. I mean, like you were saying, right? It's not just a singular person's effort. So when you go in a video,
Yes.
everyone is together, you know, on the job, focusing on it. So if one person, if it doesn't do well, if it does well, everyone kind of in it together, and
Mm,
that kind of helps deal with the pressure.
correct. So there's like I'm always worried. Like I mean, I I'll be worried that what if this is not funny enough, or what if people don't like this video? But I know that whatever work that I'm doing, right, there will always be someone else who is helping me. So even if I'm not, even if I find that okay, this script really sucks. Like a lot of times, my first draft is very very terrible.
Mm,
It sucks. I don't even know how I wrote this. Then I need to find someone who can help me. And
right.
the good thing is that we have colleagues, we have script approvers who can help us, and
Mm,
you can always. I feel like this is a very important thing. Like you cannot work in a silo.
yeah.
You have to always seek help from people who are better at the thing that you're doing
Mm,
than you are, so that they can help you, and also so that you can improve your skills.
right.
I know I used to do this thing where I would be very like precious about my process.
Sure.
I will keep I have a lot of pride about it. I don't want to show people what I'm doing until it's ready.
Yeah.
But I think being an SGAG has taught me that you need feedback from people as part of the process. You
Sure.
can't wait until it's done and then you show and then you get
Yep.
that and let that be your first round of feedback.
Cool.
I think it's better to suffer the like you
Yeah,
receive
yeah, yeah.
feedback like you feel like a stab in the heart, right? It's better to
Yeah.
suffer that early in the process. Yeah.
Then, well, that's a huge point, like a paradigm shift as well. Like, a lot of people, right, even in school, students, right, they find it very difficult to ask for help because of certain ego or because of certain things. Even for myself, right? Like sometimes it's just like you said, it's just your work and you don't want anyone to comment on it. You want to protect it with with everything you've
Yeah.
got. But I think a huge leverage actually comes from working with other people, like you said, who are smarter than you, people who have more different perspectives, and it really does help. Like, even from my working life, I've found that that's a huge point as well. You just gotta let go of your ego and just let other people help you as well. Yeah. Okay, great. So before we close for today, we are gonna have a special surprise segment just for you, Tiara.
Okay.
It's gonna be an SGAG questionnaire, and you gotta to test your knowledge of the company that you work for. You're gonna expose.
Is it the
You're gonna
history of
expose, or you're
it?
gonna get a promotion. Are you
I'm
ready?
so sorry, filming in advance if I answer this wrongly. Okay, yes.
First question. What's the first meme that put SGAG on the map?
The curry sauce on my McDonald's ran out of curry sauce.
Okay, very correct. What are the founders' names?
Can I even say, okay, Adrian Ang and Karl Marx?
Yes. Of course,
yes,
you say
okay,
it's online. You just go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, how many main cast members does SGAG have?
Let me pull up the chat group so that I can go and
Hey,
count.
cannot lah. That's more than 10 seconds already. Okay, Phil.
Okay, fine. 11 right now. There's about 11 around there.
Okay, it's correct.
So is it 11?
Sorry, I don't know
Is
the
it
answer.
11?
I don't know the answer, Tiara. Whatever answer you're saying, I was gonna say is correct. So it should be. Alright, next question. According to SGAG's website, how many Singaporeans does SGAG reach every week?
I don't even look at our website.
Nice. Exposed.
Nobody goes to our website. Like, you just look at our stuff on Facebook, Instagram.
It's marketed at 6.5 million.
Oh, per week?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Pretty cool, huh? Okay, your videos are seen by thousands, even millions of people. Okay.
Thanks for educating me.
Next question. How many released episodes are there on Guide the Gundu?
7, I think.
Okay, the answer is 10.
Oh, 10! Okay.
Never mind. It's fine. You appeared in a video where you learned how to fly from Peck Hong Hwa. You remember the guy? I love him, by the way.
Yes.
In the video, he taught you something, okay? What is 1 nautical mile in kilometers?
Is it 1.25?
Don't disappoint Peck Hong Hwa. You disappointed him. Gremlin. It's 1.85 km.
Okay, at least I got a 1 and a 5 correct.
Okay, great. You get 1/4 mark for that. Okay, next question.
Wow. You really looked through all my videos. Not bad.
What's your most... I did my homework, okay? What's your most viral video?
Is it the menu life one, the drink stall auntie one?
I don't think it might be that one. If divorces were celebrated like
that was the most viral one.
I could be wrong lah. I mean, that had a lot of likes. So
okay, this one has 2.1 million views.
Okay. That's
okay, let me check the drink stall auntie one.
Come on, please be right.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Yes!
The drink stall auntie one hit. No, wait.
I feel like I've accomplished so much in my life.
No. There's another one. I remember another one had more than 2.1 million views.
Okay,
which is a Cinderella one.
Okay, you check that one. Okay. 2.1 million for the win.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Okay, if the Cinderella video had 4.2 million views.
Oh damn, that's almost double. Oh well, yeah. I was close. It's second most viral video.
I was even lower than you with my guess. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. In that video.
Oh, by the way, I wrote both scripts. Sorry, just a little bit of patting myself on the shoulder here. Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Fantastic. In the video, what was used as a podium?
A table?
No,
was it not a table?
It was a shoe rack.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, that was so long ago.
Okay, I lost track of your points. But you got most of them correct. So yes, fantastic.
I forgot that this was a
good SGAG ambassador. and personality.
Yay! You hear that, Xiaoming? It's time for a raise. Just
Indeed it
saying.
is.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
Xiaoming,
I know this is
shout out,
COVID.
shout
Don't
out to
need
Xiaoming as well.
to.
He seems like a very, it seems like a very good boss, I must say. He seems like a really genuine person. I mean, behind all his funny jokes and laughter, I'm sure he's a really capable entrepreneur. You know, to be able to
Mm-hmm.
scale SGAG. There's 1 million likes, right, on Facebook
Definitely.
recently.
Oh yeah, 1 million, yeah,
Okay.
recently. And
Cool.
he still is the one who's approving some of our ideas.
Right.
And like I find that yeah, I learned a lot from him lah. A lot of things
Yeah.
I still don't know. And he still like tells me, you know what, this thing you should have seen before, and like, oh yeah. Okay.
Sure.
But
Sure.
I'm still learning a lot from him.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I wish you and SGAG all the best. I hope you'll continue to. I know that you'll continue to entertain and bring joy and laughter to a lot of Singaporeans. You know, some people actually look forward to it after a long day of work. So you guys are really doing meaningful work.
Aw,
Yep.
thank you. And I
Welcome.
think you are also doing a lot of meaningful work with your business. I mean, it says
Thanks.
so in the title already.
Yep.
Like you're teaching people to rebound with resilience.
Thanks. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I do enjoy what I do, and I'm also pretty grateful, lah. So just like you, our struggles also became, kind of stuff that used to empower us now. Yep.
Yeah,
So it's good.
it's cool.
Okay, great. So I think we've come to the end of this podcast. Okay, before we end, just a final. I always ask my guests this question before they leave. What
Mm-hmm.
does resilience mean to you?
I think resilience is knowing knowing that it's okay to take some downtime and allowing yourself to have that downtime, but also having that downtime so that it can strengthen you back up again.
Mm,
Yeah, so it's I think a lot of people kind of mistake it for, oh, resilience is you shouldn't even feel
sad.
beaten down. But of course, if you're all humans, you confirm feel beaten down. Right? So I think it's knowing that it's okay to be down. It's
Sure.
okay to yeah, but also of course bouncing back up.
Yeah,
So
I love that. You know, resilience I always share with students or anyone that asks, right? Resilience doesn't mean being positive all the time. Resilience
mm-hmm.
means learning how to leverage your negativity, learning how to deal with that. And
Yes.
right. And even the definition of resilience, right, is the ability to overcome failure and setbacks. So in order to develop resilience, failure is a key variable.
Mm-hmm.
Without failure, you will never develop resilience. So I think your definition and meaning is good. It's pretty meaningful. All right, we have come to the end of the podcast. You can find Tiara
Mm.
on Instagram and Facebook if you're not already following her. And
Instagram lah.
yes,
Facebook
Instagram.
usually is just like for people I know.
Okay, Instagram
Yeah.
then. Follow her
Yes,
on Instagram.
Instagram.
And thank you so much once again for being part of this podcast. This is our longest podcast so far, and it's been a
But people
pleasure.
won't know until you edit it. You know, you can edit it to
And
how short you
I
want.
probably I know it's so good that I want to put most of it in. So,
Aww. Okay.
so yes, it's going to be the longest podcast ever, and it was a
Oh no, I
pleasure
hope I.
speaking to you. And with
You
that, we
too.
wish Tiara all the best. Till the end, till the next podcast, I'll see you guys. Say bye, Tiara. Say bye to our few listeners.
Bye. This is the
All
end of
right,
our longest
bye.
conversation in 7 years. Bye.
Bye. The five of you listening to
Bye.
this, goodbye. I hope you benefit from it. See ya.